She left on a Tuesday afternoon with 2 suitcases and the kind of smile people practice for airport photos. "It's just the summer," she said, like summer was a short hallway instead of 3 full months. She pressed $30 into my palm, folded twice, and set a bottle of water on the counter as if she were leaving behind something symbolic. Be responsible. I was 17. My brother was 9. Responsibility felt less like a compliment and more like a transfer of ownership. After the taxi pulled away, the apartment felt louder. The refrigerator hummed with almost nothing inside it. I opened cabinets, counted cans, calculated days. $30 could stretch if we pretended not to be hungry. The first week, I told my brother it was an adventure. We made lists. We rationed cereal. I watered down the milk and drank tap water myself. I scrolled past my mother's photos at night, Niagara Falls, restaurant patios, filtered sunsets. She looked lighter there, like gravity had finally let her go. I kept waiting for guilt to show up in her captions. It never did. By the second week, the electricity notice arrived, past due. I stared at the paper longer than necessary, as if staring could extend the deadline. I didn't call her. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself she would send money soon. She didn't. I found small jobs, cleaning a neighbor's balcony, carrying groceries, walking a dog that hated me. I didn't tell anyone why. I said I wanted extra cash. I learned quickly that dignity is quieter than pride. My brother stopped asking when she would come back. He started asking if we would be okay. That question required a different kind of answer. "Yes," I told him, "we will be." At school, a counselor asked why my mother hadn't signed a form. I said she was traveling. The counselor's eyebrows tightened, not dramatic, just observant. When the utility company taped a final warning to our door, I took it to school in my backpack like contraband. The meeting was not cinematic. No one gasped. No one accused. The counselor asked careful questions. Dates, contact information. I answered plainly. $30, 1 bottle of water, no transfers since. Paperwork began, not as punishment, as procedure. Temporary food assistance was approved within weeks. A community program covered the electricity to prevent shutoff. A social worker scheduled a home visit just to check in. The phrase sounded harmless, but it meant something had shifted. Our situation had a file now. It had a case number. The apartment changed slowly after that. Shelves organized. Receipts clipped together, forms in a neat stack by the door. I learned to speak in timelines and documentation. My brother's lunches became predictable, his grades steady. I stopped checking my mother's vacation photos. When she finally came back, it was late. I heard the suitcase wheels first, confident, rhythmic. She walked in smelling like airport perfume and maple candy. "Surprise," she said softly, like we were supposed to laugh. She stopped when she saw the corkboard above the desk. Letters pinned in straight lines. Assistant's approvals. Appointment reminders. The food pantry schedule. "What is this?" she asked. Before I could answer, there was a knock at the door. The social worker arrived exactly when she had said she would. Third Thursday of the month, 7 p.m. She smiled politely at my mother. "You must be Ms. Rahman. I'm glad we can finally meet." My mother looked at me as if I had staged it. The conversation stayed calm. That was the strangest part. No raised voices, just measured questions. "How long were you away? Were funds provided for childcare? Are you aware assistance has been initiated due to documented absence?" I answered when addressed. Dates, amounts. The $30, the bottle of water. I didn't embellish. I didn't accuse. The facts felt heavier than any anger I could have produced. My mother tried to interrupt once. "It was just a vacation." The social worker nodded gently. "The concern isn't travel. It's supervision and provision." That word, provision, landed somewhere between us. I watched something settle into my mother's face. Not rage, not even shame at first. Recognition. She saw the paperwork, the organized kitchen, my brother sitting upright at the table finishing homework without waiting for her instructions. She saw that systems had stepped into the space she left empty, and she saw that I had let them. She gasped not theatrically, just a small involuntary sound. Her eyes filled, but she didn't cry loudly. It was quieter than that, like she had realized she was no longer the only adult in the room. After the social worker left, the apartment felt different again. Not louder, not lighter, just rearranged. "You went to strangers?" she asked. I held her gaze. I went to whoever would answer. It wasn't defiance, it was logistics. The monitoring would continue for a few months. Follow up visits. Documentation. My mother's travel now required notice. She signed forms she hadn't expected to sign. She stayed home more. She asked before leaving for even an evening. I didn't celebrate. There was no speech, no emotional release. Something between us had hardened, not hatred, but clarity. I loved her. That didn't disappear. But love no longer meant blind trust. Sometimes I catch her watching me while I sort mail or check bills online. There's something unsettled in her expression, like she's measuring what she lost during those 3 months. I didn't win anything. I just survived long enough for the world to notice. And once it did, nothing went back to the way it was.